Football is one of the highest paid sports in the world, and it doesn't come as a surprise when you're receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars every week. But something that will catch you off guard are the things these players are cashing out on. We bring to you stupidly expensive things football players own. First up, Antoine Griezmann. When you're talking about millions of dollars being spent on the craziest purchases, you just can't leave him out. Come on. The man literally signed a $116.5 million deal with Atletico Madrid. He didn't want to be just an average football player. No, he wanted to go exclusive. So he decided to go all out and spend $500,000 on this. The legend struck gold, or diamond, when he caught himself one of the rarest watches in the whole world, a Rolex Rainbow Daytona. This luxury piece has 56 masterfully cut diamonds and a 36 baguette cut rainbow sapphire bezel. Griezmann spent $400,000 on this. He definitely wouldn't want to keep it just to himself. The man's gotta show it off. And now, Mario Balotelli. Mario signed for $31 million with Man City, and as wild as he gets, he knew that was just too much money for him in his bank account. So he went and cashed it all out with that Mario splurge on a Maserati which cost him $180,000. And if that wasn't enough for this hungry shark of a man, he went and got himself a $250,000 Bentley Continental GT2. Saving you guys the math, that's $430,000. But that's not the craziest part. Psh, what's a few $100,000 for this guy? The craziest part is that the cars turned him into a monster. You see, Mario was your average law-abiding citizen, but come the cars and the man turned into the speed devil, never picking his foot off the pedal. He got himself charged continuously, racking him a fine of $500,000. Let that sink in. He's had his cars impounded 27 times. He grew so tired of constantly having to pick his car up after every meal, so he got up and decided to hand it over to his teammates. You wish you could say that. Moving on, Neymar Jr. We all know Neymar's backstory. He grew up in the worst conditions, and his family was so poor they didn't have food and no electricity either. And if that wasn't hard enough on him already, he'd get bullied for his hand-me-down clothes and his teeth that his family definitely couldn't afford to consult about. But that didn't bring him down. He would play soccer in the streets every single day in his neighborhood, despite the bullying. He sacrificed a lot and dedicated himself to becoming one of the greatest players his country has ever seen. In 2009, he started signing multi-$100 million deals and moved from the ghetto of Sao Paulo to mansions in Rio. There's an underdog story for you. Fast forward 10 years later, and he's cashing out racks like he's got them for days. And to be fair, he has. In 2019, Neymar went and bought himself a Mercedes-Benz. No, not the car. He got himself a freaking chopper. The Mercedes-Benz chopper cost him around $14 million, and it could fit 10 passengers. And it wouldn't really be Neymar's without his logo on the tail of the chopper. And if that doesn't scream Neymar enough, he went and customized the inside of the chopper to match his favorite superhero, Batman. To add to this, Neymar got himself into the NFT scene too. He went and got himself a Bored Ape which cost him $500,000. And Neymar hadn't had enough because not soon after, he went and bought himself another Bored Ape, this time even rarer, closing up on $600,000. These are just pictures on the internet, man. At least the other things on this list are real and can be worn. Yeah, you heard that right, worn. More on that later, so stick around to find out. And now, Jerome Boateng. In 2019, Jerome Boateng sat down and thought to himself, my lineup of Bentleys and Mercedes just aren't getting me that attention, man. So he went and bought something. You guessed it, stupidly expensive. Also, that internal monologue is made up. Don't quote us on that. Boateng knew just the guy for the job, too. He picked up his phone and dialed Gabriel the jeweler's number and got himself a $100,000 custom-made Audemars Piguet with 30-carat stones and a diamond bezel, 3 Cuban link chains, flooded in VVS diamonds to add to that too. Man, just saying that stuff sounds crazy. Oh, and Gabriel was feeling extra nice because in addition to all that, He gave Jerome a white gold-linked chain that cost $200,000. It's covered in a 110-karat diamond too. And you know what else is covered in diamonds and is super shiny? The subscribe button. So go and click it and drop a like too. Seriously. Up next, David Beckham. This is a story of a man who got a $6,000 haircut. Wait, what? You want context on why someone got a $6,000 haircut? At the time, there was a company that was looking to promote their hair cream as a product for smart and sleek personas, and they looked at David Beckham and thought that he was the perfect man for the job, but only on one condition. They needed him to get an extremely specific haircut, so specific that it would end up costing him $6,000. And to be very fair, it's any barber's average $30 cut. As anyone would do, David sat long and thought about this. The man got more recognition for his face than he did for his skills in football. Suffering from success? He'd have to shift his entire look, but his wife saw the deal that the Brill Cream was offering and convinced him to take it. And good on him for that. It paid off well for him because he ended up signing with the hair cream company for 4 years on a $6 million deal. Those $6,000 seem a little insignificant now, don't they? And speaking of $6 million, David Beckham's got himself a boat that cost him exactly that much. And it's not your typical boat. Oh no, it's a super yacht, and it's packed. It's got a bar, a kitchen, 2 suites, and a full gym. And that's not even half of it. He's got enough space on his Horizon E88 to accommodate 10 guests. That, coupled with the speakers and TVs in almost all the rooms, is sure to throw him some of the wildest parties he's ever been in. And finally, Cristiano Ronaldo. This man's wealth knows no limits. Being one of the greatest football players in the world is not the only thing he excels at. He also goes above and beyond when it comes to pushing the limits of what's technologically possible. Curiosity killed the cat, but Ronaldo's curiosity got him something entirely different. It led him to buying something that was never worn by any player, a performance-enhancing mouthguard. Don't be underwhelmed. The price of this thing is bound to knock your socks off. He cashed out $130,000 for this thing, and ever since then, his game has been on another level. Maybe mouthguards are the future. Ronaldo's literally got superpowers from this since. The mouthpiece is said to distribute energy equally across his body by aligning his jaw perfectly with his skull and chest. Superheroes got capes, Ronaldo's got a mouthpiece. Oh, and it doesn't end there. If we told you that you could wear your car, you'd probably click off the video. But don't do that, because Ronaldo has been there and done that. Yes, in addition to having 3 Bugattis, he thought it'd be a good idea to wear one on his wrist too, iced with sapphire and baguette diamonds and covered in titanium and champagne gold. It's one of a kind, and he's the only one in the world wearing one. It's designed to look exactly like his Bugatti's engine, and if that isn't enough to call it his own, it even has CR7 engraved into it. These footballers earned a name for themselves, and we all love to see them on the field. And they're all packing some of the craziest things we've ever seen. If you've got the money, why not spend it? And this is exactly the mentality these guys have in mind. From super yachts to custom choppers to wearing your car on your wrist, they've done it all. That's a wrap. See you in the next one.